In Section 2, we established that a neural network stores its knowledge inside its weights, but a fresh, untrained network starts with completely random values. As you can see in this chaotic, vibrating web of connections, the network doesn't know what matters yet, and its initial answers are completely useless. Welcome to Chapter 7, Section 3, Learning from Mistakes. Over the next few minutes, we will map out exactly how a network learns, covering the training loop, how weights get adjusted, what layers teach themselves to see, and the physical costs of this process. The core challenge is defining the mechanical process that takes millions of blind, random weights and forces them into a highly structured pattern recognition system. We start with subsection 3.1. Networks are trained using labeled examples. A labeled example is simply a data pair consisting of a question and a verified correct answer, like a photo of an animal with the text labeled dog attached to it. We can visualize training as a three-step data cycle. First, the network makes a guess based on its current random weights. Next, it runs a check by comparing its guess to the correct label. Finally, it sends an adjust signal backward to change its weights slightly. The system needs a way to measure its own failure. It uses a loss function, which is a mathematical formula that generates a single mistake score. This score tells the network exactly how wrong its guess was. The entire goal of training is simple: make that loss score go down. A single loop through this cycle doesn't make a network smart, but executing millions of loops across millions of examples acts as a brute force mathematical pressure, nudging those random weights toward useful values. Moving to subsection 3.2, we need to look at exactly how those weights shrink the mistake score. The network relies on a specific mathematical strategy called gradient descent. Look at this hilly landscape. We can map the network's loss score physically. Higher ground equals bigger mistakes, and lower ground equals smaller mistakes. The network's current state is a point resting high on a slope, and its goal is to reach the deep valley at the bottom. The algorithm operates a lot like a child playing the warmer-colder game. The network tests different directions. If a shift in weights causes a higher loss, the signal is colder. If a shift causes a lower loss, the signal is warmer. By constantly calculating and choosing the warmer direction, the network effectively walks step by step downhill. It repeats this process until it rests in the lowest possible valley, where the mistakes are minimized. The network never sees the entire landscape, and it has no concept of the final solution. It only knows how to make localized, calculated steps to shrink its immediate error. Walking downhill sounds simple, but a modern network has millions, sometimes billions of weights. The system needs a way to know exactly which specific weights to change, and by how much. This is where backpropagation, or backprop, takes over. Backprop is a method of tracing the mistake backward. It starts at the final output layer and flows in reverse toward the input, assigning a specific share of the blame to the individual connections that caused the error. Weights that contributed heavily to the wrong answer receive larger mathematical adjustments. Weights that were correct are left completely alone. Think of a sports team reviewing game film. If they lose a point, they rewind the footage to see exactly which player decisions failed. By tracing the play backward, they know exactly what needs to be adjusted for the next round. In subsection 3.3, we look at the results. After millions of these targeted adjustments, researchers can inspect the inner layers of an image network to see what visual patterns the weights have tuned themselves to detect. Looking at the first highlighted layer, we see that early layers learn to detect simple visual building blocks, sharp edges, corners, and basic patches of light and dark. As we move into the middle layers, the network begins combining those raw edges into recognizable textures, geometric shapes, and distinct parts like wheels or eyes. Finally, in the later layers, the network assembles those intermediate shapes into whole, meaningful objects. It recognizes complete faces, cats, or cars. Human programmers never wrote a rule defining an edge or an eye. This entire hierarchy of features emerged organically, simply because the system was continuously forced to lower its loss score. In subsection 3.4, we have to look at what this learning actually costs. Training these massive models require immense physical resources, enormous datasets, weeks of continuous computing time, and vast arrays of graphic processing units housed inside data centers. There is a hidden electricity bill to AI. Training these systems places immense new demands on local power grids before a model is released. Artificial intelligence relies heavily on physical facilities. Operating millions of calculations per second generates extreme heat, requiring massive industrial cooling systems to prevent meltdowns. Because the physical, energy, and infrastructure requirements are so high, the ability to build cutting-edge AI models is largely concentrated in the hands of a few well-funded organizations. To test your understanding, try opening a free AI chatbot and ask it to explain backpropagation to a 6th grader without using any math. Evaluate its answer. Does it mention the guess, check, adjust loop? Does it use the warmer-colder analogy? To recap, a neural network learns through a mechanical loop. It makes a guess, checks its loss score, and adjusts its weights using gradient descent to move downhill, relying on backpropagation to assign the blame. Through this repetition, the network organically learns complex features layer by layer. But that digital intelligence is paid for by massive physical infrastructure costs. Now that the weights are finally trained and the network can accurately recognize patterns, we can explore how these mathematical structures power the real-world tools you use every day in Section 4.